Hello students, I Mrs. Madhvi Mhatre welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1. We are revising chapter number 1, Linear Equations in Two Variables. In previous two lectures, we have done the revision of graphical method and Cramer's method or Cramer's rule, also called as determinant method. Now let's go ahead towards these two topics. They are equations that can be transformed in a linear equation in two variables, and the last one is application of simultaneous equations. That means the word problems based on simultaneous equations. So this part, equations reducible to a pair of linear equations in two variable, it is under the omitted syllabus. So take a note of this. When we have studied this chapter, that time we were not having the information about the omitted syllabus. That was not declared that time, so we did the complete chapter. But now you take a note of this, that this particular topic is omitted, and therefore practice set 1.4, which is based on the equations reducible to the simultaneous form, that is also omitted. Solve the following simultaneous equations, and the questions below that, they are omitted. So practice set 1.4 you will not do. As I have said previously also, even though the syllabus is omitted, it is written that you can self study it. Means what, if you want, you can solve them for your extra information, okay? But questions based on this, they will not come in exam, they will not be asked for evaluation. Now let's go towards the last topic of this chapter, applications on simultaneous equations. That means word problems based on simultaneous equations. Now here we can have various problems, like problems based on money transaction, then problems based on speed, time and distance, also the problems based on the geometrical formulas like geometrical figures, rectangle, circle and so on. So some geometrical formulas also we need to use in simultaneous equations. Also the problems which are based on the time, they are also there here. Then number of days taken for doing certain work, or the other questions like from the business. So such questions, such type of questions are then problems based on the age. So such questions are there here in the word problems, okay? Now solved examples already we have discussed when I have taught you the lesson, so I am not discussing them again. As a example, now we will see the problem from practice set 1.5, okay? So in practice set 1.5, which are the word problems based on the simultaneous equations, the very first question here is based on the numbers, okay? Two numbers differ by 3. The sum of twice the smaller number and thrice the greater number is 19. Find the numbers. Now see, these word problems, they can be asked in question number 3A as an activity, or they can be asked in question number 3B. So they can be of 3 marks also, or the word problems, they can be of 4 marks also. The challenging problems, they are coming or they are asked in the question number 4 for 4 marks, okay? So now let us see how to solve the problem. Now generally you know that in quadratic equation also you have word problems, that means in chapter number 2. So how to just recognize that whether to solve it by using two variables or by using one variable, that means whether to form simultaneous equations or to form the quadratic equation. So generally for simultaneous equations you will find that two conditions are given. Opposite to that, in quadratic you will find that one of the thing which is unknown, it is given in the form of the other, and only one condition we find there, okay? Sometimes there also two conditions may appear, but then you have to think and decide that how we can solve it, because certain questions they can be solved by any method, like you can solve by using two variables also, you can solve by using one variable also, but certain questions you have to solve by using two variables only. That means they are simultaneous equations only. And certain questions they can be solved only by quadratic, they cannot be solved by using these two variables. So read the question properly. If you don't understand it, read it again and decide that what to do here. Now always we have to start with what is to be found out. So here we have to find the two numbers, but if you see here, they have used the word smaller number and greater number. Okay, so the smaller number we can take as x and greater number we can take as y. So that is our first statement. Okay, in solution, let the greater number be x and the smaller number be y. That means any number you can take as x and the other you can take as y. You are going to get answer anyway. So here first the greater number is taken and then the smaller number is taken. Why? Because see that two numbers differ by 3. The difference is 3, means the greater number minus the smaller number is 3. That is why greater number we will take as x and smaller number we will take as y, because you know that generally we are following the order that x comes first and y is coming afterwards. So writing x minus y is more convenient than writing y minus x. Okay. So let us now write down the equations. So here we can read the first condition, two numbers differ by 3. So according to the first condition, what we can write is x minus y is equal to 3. Difference between these two numbers is 3, means the greater number minus the smaller number is equal to 3. This is our equation number 1. Now while numbering the equation, what you have to keep in mind is you will always number the equation which is in standard form, that is ax plus by is equal to c. Okay, because for solving it by any method, either by equating coefficient method or by Cramer's rule, any method you can use, but you need a standard form. That is why you will number the equation when it is in standard form. Don't number it in the beginning only. First convert in standard form and then only you number it. Now second condition, according to the second condition, the sum of twice the smaller number means 2y. Twice the smaller number is y, and twice means 2 times, so 2y, and thrice the greater number, that means 3x. But while writing we have to write x first and y afterwards. Okay, so they have changed the sequence to just confused you. So write it properly. Thrice the greater number means 3x plus 2y is equal to 19. So you can write down according to the second condition, 3x plus 2y is equal to 19. That is equation number 2. Now we have to solve them. I can, as I have said, that we can solve it by any method. Okay, like you know that in the beginning we have seen that practice set 1.1, and from that the direct questions based on the elimination method and substitution method, they are omitted, but still you can use that method to solve it, because you know that the elimination method is the easiest one, so that you can use. If you use Cramer's rule, then also it will do. It is totally your choice that how you are going to solve it. You can use any method to solve it. Now, if we want to use the elimination method, that time we need any one coefficient equal. Either the coefficient of x should be equal or y should be equal. So let us make the coefficient of y equal. So here we can multiply by 2. So multiplying equation 1 by 2, we get 2x minus 2y is equal to 6. Number this as equation 3. Now observe equation 2 and 3. The coefficients of the variable y, they are equal, At the same time, what we can observe is their signs are opposite. So adding equations 2 and 3 will help us now. When we add them, the variable y will be eliminated and we will get value of x. So our next step is adding equations 2 and 3. So when we add equations 2 and 3, equation 2 is written up, equation 3 is written down, and in between you have to write down the addition sign, okay, which shows that you are doing addition operation here. Now see, plus 2y and minus 2y, they will get cancelled here. And here 3x plus 2x is 5x on left hand side. And on right hand side 19 plus 6 is 25. So we will get 5x is equal to 25 here. And from that we can write down x is equal to 25 divided by 5, that is 5. So value of x we got as 5. Now this value we can substitute in any one equation. Equation number 1, 2 or 3. See, equation number 2 is present here, 3 is present here, and equation number 1 is x minus y is equal to 3. So that was simplest one. So we will put this value, or we will substitute x is equal to 5 in equation 1. So substituting the value of x, or substituting x is equal to 5 in equation 1, which is x minus y is equal to 3. That means simply in place of x we are writing 5. So what we can write down, 5 minus y is equal to 3. Now what you can do is this minus y you can shift to right hand side, that will become plus y, and 3 you can shift here. So what you will get, y is equal to 5 minus 3, that is 2. Or if you want to shift, you can shift 5 also this side. So here you are getting minus 2 is equal to minus y is equal to minus 2, and from that y is equal to 2. So either you can solve it this way, or as I have said, to avoid the mistakes, you can shift this minus y on right hand side and 3 on left hand side. So you will get y is equal to 2. Now we got the values, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 2. Then the last part is to write down the final answer. Now since it's a word problem, your final answer should be as a statement. You have to write it as a statement. So always take help of the first statement to write down the answer of final. Okay, the final answer you have to write down by using the first statement, that we have assumed that the greater number is x and smaller number is y. So we can write down now, therefore the greater number is 5 and the smaller number is 2. So in this way you can write down the final answer. Half mark is reserved for this. Take a note of this. Now let's go ahead. Now I am going directly towards question number 6, because all the remaining questions are discussed by me when we have learned the lesson. So this is question number 6, which is an important question and it is asked so many times in exams. So I am discussing this question now. Out of 1900 kilometers, we shall travel some distance by bus and some by aeroplane. Bus travels with average speed of 60 kilometers per hour and the average speed of aeroplane is 700 kilometers per hour. It takes 5 hours to complete the journey. Find the distance we shall travel by bus. Now see here, we can see the words like distance, then the word speed is there, and here 5 hours means time is given. So clearly this question is based on that formula. You know the formula. You can write down the formula in various ways. Like you can write down the formula as distance is equal to speed into time, or you can write down time is equal to distance divided by speed. See, since here the condition is given in the form of time, we will use the formula time is equal to distance upon speed. Now here they have asked us about the distance traveled by bus. So in this question what we can observe is the total distance is 1900 kilometer. Out of that some distance is covered by bus and some is covered by aeroplane. So here these two distances we will take as x and y kilometers. Okay, that means the distance covered by the bus we will take as x kilometers and the distance covered by the aeroplane we will take as y kilometers. But here they have asked only one thing. That means we have to find only x. There is no need to find y. We are going to consider two variables, but they have asked us only one value. Okay, so there is no need to find both the values here. So let us start now that the distance traveled by the bus we will take as x kilometers and the distance traveled by the aeroplane we will take as y kilometers. So that will be our first statement, that let the distance traveled by bus be x kilometers and the distance traveled by aeroplane be y kilometers. As I have told you so many times that when you are writing these unknown variables, don't forget to write the unit. It is very much important to write down the unit. So you should write down the appropriate unit here. Since it's a distance and here you will find that it is given in kilometers, we have to take the unit as kilometers. Okay. Now we have to frame two equations by using the conditions. Now see here, total distance 1900 kilometer is given and some distance is covered by bus and some is by aeroplane. So by using this statement or by using this first condition, we can write down equation 1 very easily. Okay, distance traveled by bus plus the distance traveled by aeroplane is 1900 kilometers. That means x plus y is equal to 1900. This is our equation 1 which we got very easily. Okay. Now here you will find the second condition, that it takes 700, it takes 5 hours to complete the journey. Means the second condition is given in the form of time. But before that, in the second statement here, we are provided with the speeds. Okay, that means it is possible for us to find the time taken by the bus and time taken by the aeroplane. Okay, so these speeds we can write down, that the average speed of the bus is 60 kilometers per hour and the average speed of the aeroplane is 700 kilometers per hour, and then use the formula time is equal to distance upon speed. Okay, and by using the condition we can write down the second equation now. Okay, so here they have given us that 5 hours is the total time taken. That means the journey completed in 5 hours. So time taken by bus, so the distance here is what, x upon the speed is 60. That means x upon 60 plus y upon 700, and that total time is 5 hours. Okay, so let us write down the equation now. So according to second condition, see, the distance covered by bus divided by the speed of the bus, because time is equal to distance upon speed. So this will give us time taken by the bus plus time taken by the aeroplane. Distance covered by aeroplane, that is y kilometers, divided by the speed of the aeroplane, which is 700 kilometers per hour, and this total time is 5 hours. Okay, now we have to solve them. Now you can see that here the fractions are there, and generally we don't want fractions. Whenever there is a denominator, we try to eliminate it. Or if we want to solve this equation, then we have to go for the cross multiplication, because for addition the denominators they must be equal. So here you have to think of LCM of 60 and 700. So LCM of 60 and 700 is 2100. I told you previously also that you everywhere you don't go for cross multiplication simply, you think of LCM, because when you go for cross multiplication you are going to get a very big number. and then the reduction is not possible afterwards, or it becomes complicated. So always think of LCM here. And how to find LCM, that also I told you, that always you think of the bigger number. 700 you will think of. 700 is not divisible by 60. So it cannot be LCM. Now the next multiple of 700 is 1400. Not divisible by 60. The next multiple is 2100, which is divisible by 60. Okay. So here the LCM of 60 and 700 is 2100. So here every term we are going to multiply by 2100. Okay, so write down the statement: multiplying both the sides of above equation by 2100. Why by 2100? Because it's the LCM of 60 and 700. Okay, so when we multiply here 2100 into 60, the cancellation will take place. Here also the cancellation will take place, and here you have to multiply. So you will get the answer like this. See, 2100, when you here write down in the multiplication form, 10 will get cancelled first. You can observe here. And 210, if you divide by 6, then you are going to get 35. So here the very first term is 35x. When you multiply here by 2100, you can observe these two numbers. Then you can cut these two zeros, and simply 7 3s are 21. So the second term here is 3y. And here we have 5 into 2100. See, 21 5s are 105, and on that you have to write down two zeros. So this is our equation number 2. As I have said, that always number the equation when you convert it to standard form. So in hurry, don't number this, because we have to solve them by equating coefficients. So always number the equations whenever we convert it into the standard form. Now observe equation 1 and 2. Equation 1 is x plus y is equal to 1900. There we have x plus y, and here we have 3y. So if we want to equate the coefficient, we have to multiply equation 1 by 3. So write down, multiplying equation 1 by 3, then we get. So it was x plus y is equal to 1900. So it is 3x plus 3y is equal to 19 3s are 57. So 5700. Number this as equation 2. Now once again recall the question. They have asked us only about the distance travelled by bus. That means we have to find only value of x. There is no need to find value of y. That is why we have equated y only. Now what we can observe is the coefficients are equal. Also the sign is equal. So adding will not help us here. So we have to go for subtraction. So what statement we will write is subtracting equation 3 from 2. Okay, 3 from 2. So equation 2 will appear up and equation 3 will appear down like this. Correct? Equation 2, 35x plus 3y is equal to 10,500, and equation 3, 3x plus 3y is equal to 5,700. Write down the minus sign here to show that you are doing subtraction. And you know that when you subtract here, you have to change the sign of each and every term of second equation. So change that signs. So here plus 3x, therefore you will write minus in bracket. Here also plus 3y, so you will write minus. And here also 5700 is positive, so here you will write minus. So you change the signs. Always when you are doing subtraction, no, before drawing this line, horizontal line, you leave one line in between for the change of the signs. Now this plus 3y and minus 3y, it will get cancelled. And here 35x minus 3x, here you will get 32x. And when you subtract here, these two zeros you can cancel here. And then when you subtract here, you are going to get 4,800. So your answer is 32x is equal to 4,800. From this we can find now value of x. Okay, so what we can write here is x is equal to 150. That means, see, x is equal to 4800 divided by 32, and when you divide you are going to get answer 150. Now here in hurry, what do you think that once we have got value of x, we should substitute it in equation 1 and we should get the value of y. But there is no need, because they have not asked us about the distance traveled by aeroplane. That means there is no need to find the value of variable y. Okay. So here finding x only is enough, and by using we can write down the answer of what is required. That means the distance traveled by bus is 150 kilometers, and then we can write down the answer as, therefore we shall travel 150 kilometers by bus. You have to stop here. You can find y, but there is no use because it is not asked. So don't waste time in that. So always for word problems, what you keep in mind is you read the question. If you don't understand it, read it again and then decide how to solve it. What should be taken as x, what should be taken as y, and then how to proceed further, that you have to decide. Okay. So in this way we have completed the revision of this chapter, chapter number 1, that is linear equations in two variables. Okay, so students, today I am stopping here. We will meet in next lecture. Till that, you stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you, students.